What is the most dangerous thing a realtor can say to an investor? It is not, I need to see your POF, cash only, or even you'll have to offer over list. It is even more career ending. Right up front, you have to know that despite what listing agents are telling you, not every listing sells at or above the original listing price. Agents can change the listing price when a property goes under contract to make the investor offer appear at full list, and also just before the closing, which makes it appear the property sold above the list price. As wholesalers, we focus on deals that are both on and off the MLS. We have hugely successful students who only deal with listed properties, and others who are equally successful who will not deal with realtors and listed properties. The common thread with listed and non-listed profitable deals is the seller must be motivated. So-called motivated sellers are the demise of many listing agents and new investors who believe sellers when they say they have to sell ASAP, but they want the highest price in the area despite the property's condition. The seller must be eager to sell because of a looming date, such as a foreclosure or tax deed sale. Often the motivation to sell is less obvious, such as a headache or unwanted property, including code liens, job transfer, divorce, bankruptcy, etc. Probate properties are a major source of motivated sellers who do not want to live in the property and are having to deal with upkeep and maintenance from out of state. Whatever the seller is thinking doesn't matter. All that does matter is he's willing to accept an offer where you as an investor can make a profit by wholesaling it or rehabbing and retailing it. Investors dealing with non-listed properties have the ability to find which homeowners should be motivated and contact them directly. The usual methods of online and print ads, door hangers, direct mail are but a few of the myriad ways to get in touch with motivated sellers. Listed properties typically require that an investor contacts listing agents and works through them to make offers and negotiate purchase prices. Frankly, being a realtor is very difficult because of the low commission payout and the tremendous competition. This stress shows itself in many ways, the least of which is for the agent to overpromise the seller the price he can get from buyers. This common practice is called buying or selling the listing, and it works very well to get a signed listing agreement. However, it takes more to sell a property than putting it on the MLS and waiting for another realtor to bring a buyer. When listings aren't selling quickly enough, agents can do what I call jazzing the MLS. These various strategies include, but are not limited to, setting the initial listing price well below fair market value to get buyers into a bidding war. Setting the initial listing price way too high to get unknowing investors to make offers below the list and then purchase overpriced homes, typically for rehabbing. Justifying the listing price by using comparable sales that are either in other neighborhoods or are not real comparable homes with reference to the condition of the subject property. Playing with a listing by lowering the listing price to have other MLS viewers be alerted to a price reduction, indicating the seller may be more motivated. In a recent case, I saw a property that had 24 price reductions of $100 each and 2 price increases of $10,000 each over a year. The strategy resulted in a lot of online views, but no sale. The yo-yo strategy is simple, and it entails reducing the list price X amount and increasing the listing price 2X a week or so later. The price is again reduced X amount, and the cycle is repeated until the property sells or the listing is lost. Removing the listing and putting it back up in a few weeks to generate a new listings response for the MLS autoresponders. The other strategies to stimulate interest from other realtors and investor buyers are not worth mentioning, as the real threat to investors will be explained in detail in a moment. While not every listed property has a price and/or listing history available, many do. I suggest you always Google the property address and look at Zillow.com as one of the many sources that come up. Following is the price history of a property I recently looked at found on Zillow. Below are the results of the price history showing examples of relisting the property after removal and price reductions. I am not promoting this reference site, but I like it because it shows properties from all over the country. The biggest and most rapidly increasing threat to the value that the MLS should bring to the real estate market is the pocket listing. Many years ago, agents would tell listing prospects that they had pocket buyers who would buy their property in minutes if the agent got an exclusive listing agreement. As an investor buyer, I fought this issue as I was a cash buyer, but agents were promising unreasonable and unrealistic sales prices. In most cases, I did buy the properties after 6 months when the listing expired. Some agents promised to be able to sell to their pocket buyers in just days before a foreclosure or tax deed sale, and they weren't able to do so, resulting in the homeowner losing his property without any compensation. But what I think is the greatest threat to investors by realtors is what I called pocket listings. According to the listing agents who offer these to investors, these are properties which are not yet listed, but where the agent has a listing agreement with the seller. My first reaction has always been, why is the seller paying a commission to be put on the MLS and the agent is not listing it? I get various answers from agents, but essentially it always comes back to the seller told me to get the best price I could, and I do this by offering it to my cash buyers list. I don't know if it's legal to offer pocket listings, but I do know that novice investors get crazy thinking they're getting a deal. Having seen many hundreds of these pocket listings offered to students, never yet have I seen a deal that makes economic sense to a wholesaler. In 2014, it was estimated that about 3% of all what should have been listed properties were offered as pocket listings. Recently, it was estimated that over 25% of what should have been listed properties are pocket listings. This is an unscientific survey, and the results could not be totally indicative of the magnitude of the problem, but it is indicative of a definite trend in the industry. What are the reasons for the pocket listings? Fire up buyers to believe they are getting a profitable deal handed to them. The listing agent does not have to split the commission with another agent who would bring a buyer. The agent can work cash buyers against one another to make more commission. It's an easier way to sell a property than showing it to picky buyers. Just send the investors to the property and give them the lockbox. Of course, it must be vacant. Where do these cash buyers come from? I have agents tell me that every day they get calls from new investors who brag about being cash buyers, whether they have cash or not. Agents who get that some of these investors are actually cash buyers create a buyer's list with these individuals. One agent confided with me he had over 3,000 investors on his buyer's list, which is likely more buyers than would view the MLS if the property was listed. In summary, a pocket listing may be a deal, but very, very few agents actually know what a deal is and how to arrive at a price that makes sense to an investor buyer. If you decide to make offers on these gray area legal offerings, please do not listen to the Realtor Speak sales pitch that will follow about why it is such a good deal. Evaluate the property based on whatever standard techniques you use and be very careful of estimating a property's after repaired value, or ARV. The estimate of the ARV by rehabbers is one of the main causes of career-ending rehabs. One of my most successful students went bankrupt before coming into our program because a good buddy realtor told him he could pick deals and my student could rehab them and make tons of money. Not so. P.S. Truly savvy agents and brokers have learned that investors can make tons of money on deals where they as listing agents are making what I call tip money. They also realize these transactions can be funded using other people's money, or OPM. The result is these brokers are making a minimum of 9% commissions and profit spreads on deals where they otherwise would only make 2.5% to 3%. I have actual HUD statements elsewhere in my deal talks on my websites showing real transactions where agents use this tactic to greatly enhance their income stream. What is really clever is when you learn how to buy and sell a property at the same price and make a 9% commission with no money in the transaction. P.S. This same price tactic is a common practice and not an exception for experienced brokers. Be careful out there. I wish you limitless success. I'm Dave Dinkle. The greatest advances in the world have happened because people just like you followed their passion. If you don't take a leap of faith and trust yourself, you may only have regrets, especially knowing that you could have done it. I know you can be a successful investor if you try hard enough and you do not quit. Follow me and join us so we can help you achieve your destiny by fulfilling your personal passion. It's a simple choice to take control of your fears and change your life forever, and now is the time to do it. You deserve it, so why not you?